Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Insecurity has been biting very deep in Nigeria, and a lot of Nigerians have been calling on the President Muhammadu Buhari, to do something very drastic, before it consumes each and every one of Nigerians living in Nigeria, of course. And he had decided to make a move that is now bringing fear. Some persons in some quarters tears, some others don't even really care. Any change is change. Nigerians are feeling what other situation will be worse than the one we're already experiencing. But in the moment you find out what it is that the president of Nigeria is about to do, or he has already made move on, that is generating a lot of controversies. And of course, a Ghanaian journalist has also, lend a voice to the situation too, because after all, he's also a West African. But before we go to the news proper, I would like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, the president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, has been warned against his recent call for the United States to relocate its that's U.S. Africa Command, that's Africom, from Stuttgart, Germany to Africa, close to the theater of operation, that's in Africa. Buhari admonished the international community to support Nigeria and the sub-region in tackling growing security challenges to avoid spillovers. Bashir Sani, a former lawmaker from Kaduna Central Senatorial District, described the plea as unconsumable, unconscionable, and an open invitation for recolonization of Africa. Over 6 decades since independence, African countries should purposefully work together to confront and address the security challenges, while honorably seeking foreign technical assistance. The call for the U.S. to relocate its U.S. Africa Command headquarters to Africa is unconscionable. According to Sani, a lawmaker of the 8th National Assembly, the president's call for World Power's military headquarters on African soil is an open invitation for recolonization of Africa. It's easier to tell and get them to come, and when they come, it's impossible to tell and get them to go out. He warned that once the US relocates their headquarters to Africa, then Russia, China, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Israel, and co would follow suit with establishing their commands, headquarters, and then Africa will be militarily balkanized, and then will either become like Korea or like Syria. Now that's very, very strong. A lot of Nigerians have reacted to this, saying, some Nigerians are saying, which is even worse, is it, going through what Fulanis are doing and, getting killed or brought down or maimed by our own people, rather than getting a few handouts here and there from those who colonized us before. They have to rather they had basic amenities. But let's quickly hear what a Ghanaian has got to say over this matter, because of course a Ghanaian has reacted to this, and his own is quite strong. In fact, his own is straight to the point. A Ghanaian journalist, managing editor of the Inside newspaper, Kwesi Jr., made the statement in a headline while reacting to the news of President Muhammadu Buhari's request to the United States that urged them to consider relocating Africom to Africa. Amidst worsening insecurity in different parts of the country, the Nigerian president was reported to have asked the United Nations, or rather the United States government, in a visual meeting with Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, that the U.S. African Command be moved from Germany to Africa. Kwesi Jr. thinks such a request from President Muhammadu Buhari is uncalled for, as it means establishing the U.S. military base in an African country. He said he is embarrassed and ashamed as an African after reading about that request. He wondered why President Muhammadu Buhari, a former military general who campaigned on ending insecurity, will be running to the United States to help fight Boko Haram. Kwesi referred to Nigeria as the giant of Africa and wondered what other smaller African countries should be doing if the giant of Africa is begging Anthony Blinken to establish a military base in its soil. He described President Muhammad Buhari's request as walking back into the embrace of our slave and colonial masters. He slammed African leaders for taking us back to our oppressors. The United States African Command is responsible for all U.S. military operations in Africa. Now, this is another person calling on the situation of things. Now, Nigerians have, torn between two ways. Do we go back to our colonial masters? At least things can be done properly. We are sure of basic amenities. We are sure of maybe jobs. We are sure of security. But then, freedom is golden. While it's just a case of assumption, permutations, we're just, reacting. Some of us are already, like what Shehu Sani is doing, preempting the future if such happens. And he even went further to say it will not just be United States that will be coming in with their military headquarters command in Africa. Other big bodies, big African giant countries of the world may want to do same, and then Africa will be like a country where winner wins or survival of the bidder is the case of Africa being a place where the highest bidder takes it all, and this will now be a case where everybody will begin to scavenge and look for one African country to recolonize or the other. But just an assumption, they're just preempting. But when you're asking for services, there has to be something that's in it for them for returns. You can't just tell them to come with their military just for fun. There has to be something that has to give. What would that be? What would it be? Already Nigeria have over borrowed, as in I don't even know the generation that will come out of this poverty and economic slavery have already entered into. A lot of things are happening. Just some months, some weeks back, Governor of Edo State had already told Nigerians, which eventually came out to be true, even though the Minister of Finance debunked it initially before the CBN governor later corrected it that it was actually a law, where we are now printing a naira just to offset some of the pressing needs, and that is inflation calling, where too much naira in the system chasing fewer goods. With this security staring us in the face, Nigeria is in it for us. In it for us, but not Nigerians are saying, which is better, shouldn't we go back to slavery? But it's up to some of us in diaspora and some of us here in Nigeria. Which do you prefer? Going back to slave trade, going back to where you are? But that's just a preemption. They're just presuming, they're not so sure yet. Or do we just look inwards? If you say we are independent, then we should be able to tackle our things. We are not just Nigeria. We also have a continent called Africa. We should be able to harness each other's strength, harness each other's strength, look inwards and help tackle one another. These countries you're asking for help, they worked it out, they slugged it out, they were able to overcome. They are not perfect yet. Yes, they have some one or two things going on, real good for them, but with the right leadership, we can get there. One of the major challenges we have in Nigeria, in Africa, is corruption. It's the biggest. It's even bigger than tsunamis. It's heavier. It's terrible, more terrible than environmental degradation. And that's why we are where we are today. Well, that's why we'll go wrap it up. What's your take? Which would you prefer? If you have to choose, which would you go for? Recolonization, where you're sure of at least your life, or would you like us to go through the process of self-discovery, slug it out, and get it fixed? Let's interact in our conversation.